Rebecca?
Ready?
All right. Let's, motion to get the meeting started, 7 PM.
So motion?
Any second?
Second it?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. So,
Want a motion to approve the minutes?
the motion to approve the minutes
So
of the last meeting.
Second it?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, 301 Main. Which one we gonna start with, 40 first, or you wanna do 106?
We can do the 55 King Street first, do some discussion,
Yeah.
Okay.
and those are the plans that you see before you.
Can we slide one down here?
Yep.
Is this the doctor's house? Is that your dad?
Yes.
I spoke with him a couple decades ago about this.
Did you?
Yeah, at the kitchen table in
The other
there.
house back there?
Yeah.
Do you want me to show you what we're talking about here?
Yeah, what was
Yeah, I
this?
think,
Yeah, you wanted to come up there?
Yeah.
Brad?
yeah, do you have a,
See what you got.
My parents own this lot, or my dad recently passed. So my mom is thinking about selling. So what we really need to know is of this, if this and, wait, one of them is marked where the lot would be proposed.
Is it this one?
I think they're all the same, Wally.
You know, this one has the mark right here.
Oh,
In
yeah.
other words, so that this could be one lot and this could be another lot with the 150 frontage to make them A&R lots. So we just need to know from the board what you would require. Like I said, this is the first step. She's not planning on selling anytime shortly, but
Mm-hmm.
she's talked about selling, and obviously we think it would be easier to sell if we sold off part of the lots. Or she may want to sell a part of the lot now, to give her some extra cash is basically it. So, this is the old plan. So my sister had built a house here, lot 2.
So lot 2 is the house now?
There's a
In
house
what
there.
year was that put on?
That was in 1993.
Okay.
Yeah, 93. So that's
And-
my sister's, and she has since sold that.
All right. What's the status of Kings Way? Is that
It's
still a private way?
exactly, I'm not sure what the legal status of it. There have been other houses there. I mean, obviously Greg Stark's house is
Yeah,
back
his is over there. You get the water tower up
The water
here.
tower's there, and this is my understanding was supposed to be built, but never got built.
So where's the road end?
The road, I believe,
It comes right down there into
just-
the driveway.
Driveway to the tank?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, to Greg's
To
place?
No, not the Greg's
to
ti-
the Crook's place.
Yeah, to the Crook's place. Yeah, it comes right into the driveway.
I mean, I've lived there
I-
my entire life, and I've only driven down there probably. So.
Well, I used to plow it.
Oh, did you?
Yes, I plowed it for
Lucky
many
you.
years, yes. So, yeah.
So Bob, does anybody know the status? Is that still a
I
private
think
way?
I still think it's a private way.
And I don't know what that means.
So a private way means you own the way, and then,
So I guess this is I don't know if this is our property line, the
well,
Cancia
if there's
line?
parties on both sides, the ownership goes up into
Half
the
the
middle.
middle?
Yeah, it goes up into the middle of the way.
Because my understanding is there's 150 frontage in this lot, and that would be 150 frontage in this lot. This doesn't exist, this I guess.
Size
is
of the
a-
road, Bob, do you? Is
Yeah.
it a 40?
Right now,
It says 50, right away.
the road right now is not even paid. Well, they might have paved it by now, but up to, there was no pavement down through here at all.
I just drove on it, and I don't remember how far it was paved. And my sister
Yeah.
lived here till they just sold that like 4 years ago, so.
So are you paved here?
Oh, yeah, that's paved.
This,
Well, you plowed it, right?
yeah, no,
Because it had to be
This-
paved
this-
up to the
this-
water tower, because you had to be able to
this,
get to
this
the
was
water
paved to the
tower.
water tower,
Right.
and then it was no pavement after that.
I think it might be ground, yeah.
It's
like
all
that.
gravel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
gravel.
And really, it's only one car access right now.
Yeah.
It's,
This far.
yes,
Beyond
yes,
that.
yeah, yep.
So, I mean, I imagine there would have to be road improvements, whoever would
Yeah.
build that. So I
Right,
just don't know.
that might be a big thing for you, because if you have to build it to specs, which is typical on private ways.
So if we were to sell it to somebody, I just need to know what we are representing. In other words, whoever buys it, and if they want to build, they have to do X.
Bring it up to the regulation at the time of the submission of the
At
plan.
Bring it to I would have an engineer
An engineer.
split that.
Okay.
So
have
they
an
would
engineer
adhere to the
drawing.
bylaws, exactly.
I have a pen.
Is Arnold even still around? I don't think so, right? And this was 30 years ago.
Who?
Arnold? He used to do
Oh, I
Arnold.
don't know, yeah, I don't even
He was
know.
old then.
Yeah, he was. yeah.
So I need an engineering,
Yeah, you'll need an engineer to
Make an A and R.
an A&R lot. And then,
or two A&R lots, or whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah,
Uh,
And
Right,
he
well,
can
you
find
keep
out the
one and split
status.
the other one into an A and R lot, and they would do all the calculations, they would do
Okay.
all the, they would split
And
it.
assuming that there would have to be a road, obviously, for this.
Yeah,
I
because
mean,
he,
this doesn't, there's already road already up to here, I don't know if that makes.
You gotta
a
make
difference
sure
or
that
not.
the,
I mean, the tennis court is there now, but the assumption is if my mom sold her house, nobody, I don't think anybody's gonna want the tennis court, so you could make this a separate lot.
but you might have to build this
You might have to build that.
to get your frontage, because
oh, yeah.
that's probably
you're
where that
definitely gonna
is.
He's definitely gonna have
Isn't
to
that
build a
what-
cul-de-sac.
Is there not enough frontage here, there? or-
Yeah, but you got
Yeah.
other regs like turnarounds and other
Okay.
stuff, you know.
Okay.
But yeah,
Yeah,
your
you gotta get a
engineer's your
fire
best
truck.
bet.
A&R up to code is what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
You gotta get a fire truck in there, everything else.
okay, okay.
And that's
So-
what your engineer will consult
know.
with you
Yeah,
on that,
that's-
exactly, I
yeah.
hope,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, and it's a subdivision road. It's an it would be an A&R lot off of a subdivision road, but you really don't have the road yet. Which is one of the dilemmas, if memory serves me
Well,
back
that's
when I
probably
talked to
true,
your
because it
dad.
wouldn't surprise me if my dad had approached you, because my other sister may have thought about
Yeah.
building a house back there.
Yeah, we went over this plan and what he had to do, and he didn't want to if I'm thinking straight,
Sure.
he said that he didn't want to disturb the neighbors at the time for what he had to do, and he just kind of kept it in his back pocket as to
Yeah,
his thoughts.
right,
But yeah, I've seen this plan before.
right, it's interesting, right, to see it now. I mean, I've lived there, literally, they moved into that house when I was like 3 months old. Yeah,
Mhm.
for some reason it's wrong, they have that house is built in 1968, but it was built in 1948. My parents, the original house, and then
Yeah.
they built a huge addition, I think, in 68, 69, when my brother was born. So I think for some, it
And
says
then
on the.
my
on the-
father,
Yeah,
built,
you
my
access
father
from-
built the addition.
Did
Oh,
he
did you?
really?
Yes.
That's kind of cool, right? We're old.
Yeah, we are old.
We're old, and my poor dad's gone now.
And some of these
You're
board
like a
members are gone
fossil.
too.
Yeah,
I know,
there you
right?
go.
So, yeah,
It
three
was a
of them,
lot
yeah.
to get this house built, is my recollection.
Yeah,
when
because
they
you,
did it.
you could see that because of the pavement and,
Yeah, yeah,
and the
yeah.
regs came, the new regs were the first ones filed in the town's history in like 30, 40 years, and it was in 97, so it was just after this.
93 was when
Yeah,
they did this.
so 97, the new sub-regs went in.
Oh, okay.
And at the time, the Commonwealth told us when we recorded them in Salem, they said it was the first comprehensive set of subdivision rules and regs they had seen in 25 years.
Oh, okay.
And they
So
had a
now
real
there's
d-
new, okay.
Yeah, that was in 97, but they actually had a dilemma because they didn't know what to do with them because everybody in the registry hadn't been there yet that long to remember what they used to do with them. So they had to call boss. It was kind of a,
Interesting, right? A
it
good
was,
exercise.
it was interesting and humorous at the same time, you know, like. it's
All
like,
right, so just so I get the language right, an AR lot on a subdivision, that's what the plans have to.
Yeah, it's gonna be a subdivision plan you're gonna be submitting with.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate it, and
that.
I'll probably be back.
Okay,
No
Yeah,
problem.
And then, and once we get into.
Yeah,
sorry to hear about your
Keep
dad.
these.
I liked him. He was,
He had a good life. He was
He was a good fella.
almost be 86.
Yep.
So, yeah. So now, I think she's gonna stay there a while, but it's good to know if she wants to go. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
thank you.
thank you.
All right, so that
You want to
was
do
good.
929, or do you want to continue 106?
Because of the people,
I-
because of the people, there are people here for 106, you might want to say that because of Jim's not here, so they can leave.
On 106 King Street, we're going to continue it. We're missing a member, so we can't vote on that tonight.
So we will open and
So-
continue.
Well, go ahead.
Open the hearing and then continue.
Yeah, we gotta open a hearing.
Okay, so we'll have a motion to open the hearing for 106 King Street.
So motion.
Any
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. So due to a planning board member that can't be here tonight, we can't vote. So we're going to move that meeting, continue it to,
September 21st,
that's okay with everybody?
if
So s-
you if you could sign the continuance.
we need a continuance, yeah?
27th, we can, oh, okay.
What are we doing at 21st?
21st? September
Yeah.
21st.
Schedule this.
The 21st? Okay. So, you're welcome.
Sorry about that. I literally just got the email after you sent the email.
Hey, can I make a comment? Not, if it, I'm not gonna be here the 21st,
Don't worry, that's fine.
but I'm gonna be here the 20th,
Gives us one time.
and and I get in
Have a great
on
night,
Thursday, the
You too.
23rd.
So,
If we move to Monday, the 20th, or the 23rd Thursday.
can we do that?
So,
So my selectmen have the meeting as well.
Right.
Do we have
It's
to
a
have it?
selectmen,
What about the back room? Is that still open?
That won't be big enough for
How many people we got?
crowd that we're gonna.
you mean you wanna change it to the
20th?
27th? Or the 20th?
Oh, wait a minute, let me check the 27th. I didn't
I
think about
can't,
that.
I can't do the 27th. I have a
I can't either. Okay.
building committee meeting I gotta go to.
So I'm open on the 20th and and I get in the night of the 23rd, just like tonight I'll be here. A bit like that. So
How
either
about Thursday,
Monday
the
or
23rd?
Thursday.
Um, Yes, I mean, if you wanna move it to the 23rd, I mean, if whatever the pleasure of the board is, I'm just, again, my one concern is that, whether or not we need to have that, invoke the rule of necessity for that
Yeah.
fourth person, because the special permit requires 4 members of a 5-member board, you've already missed 2 meetings. John was not a planning board member at the time of the filing, and it missed,
Well, in the meantime, we can do that. We can get that going and find out.
so I can definitely contact.
So I guess it would be a moot point if you cannot vote,
Yeah,
you know, so
we'd find it anyway, yeah.
So why don't we leave it, why don't we research that and leave it for the 21st now? And if that so changes, then
Yeah,
we
but on
can,
but what she said on the special permit, it's a 4 anyway, so we just gotta get a waiver filed. See how that goes. But yeah, let's get that process in motion, I agree.
Okay.
And,
But we just need to continue to a select time and date in order for there not to be any notice requirements, so.
so if that's the case, then why don't we go on the premise either the 20th or the 23rd, just in case it comes back a positive, and if not, then, you know, otherwise we gotta redo it again, right?
Yes,
sorry to put a stick in the mud, but
whatever the pleasure of the board is.
we're gonna need a vote, we're gonna need him to vote.
So if it's the,
Yeah,
Bob,
so-
if you hear the 20th, then it sounds like the 23rd is the best way to go.
Can you be here on the 20th?
That's what I'm looking at now. Just hold on 1 second, please. I gotta look at my.
He'll be-
Jim works nights too, so I have to double check with him.
Retired guys work nights now? What's the world coming to?
You say the 20th? The
Yeah.
20th,
Either-
20th I'm open.
How about the 23rd? Either one of those two dates if,
23rd would be the Thursday. Yes, I could do the.
okay. Okay, so we're good, either 20th or 23rd. If
Yeah,
he,
emotion, yeah.
You have to make the motion to, otherwise they need to renotice.
I make a motion to move the meeting to the 20th of
or
September.
the 23rd.
Or the 20th. You wanna do or?
We could do, can we have two dates in the motion?
I'm not an attorney, but I don't believe so.
No. it's
No, I
gonna be
don't think
one.
so. So let's do the 20th.
Okay, all right.
Okay, that's good. Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
We'll have to send a notice to,
So September 20th at 7 PM.
Phil's
Yep.
here, so he can pass that on.
pass that along to the abutters and also the applicants.
Yep.
Okay, so now we'll open the special permit for the 929, 931 Salem Street.
Do you want to do the A&R first?
Sure.
Yeah.
Open the meeting for the A&R, and that is on, I must be missing a page, Rebecca, because all I have
Yeah,
is
it's
the
just
meeting
the A&R.
minutes. Yeah.
Who's doing that, Bill?
Nope.
I just had the milers over there, that's why.
So to do a new Mylar? To do a new Mylar? Because that one's not stamped, I guess.
No, I stamped it, yeah.
Oh, the Mylar?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Brought my stamp with
Yay.
me.
All right, so
I knew
that
it
cleans
was,
up
I was
that
on vacation when you made it.
other problem. All right, so, complicated plan here. What are we doing?
No, it's 200.
This 2-page?
Yeah,
Yeah.
page.
You guys had the topo and all that. Another copy that just has it highlighted, the two lots, so it's a little easier to understand kind of what the lots look like.
So what are we doing? Would you explain this out?
Well, this is 921, 931, right? 929.
929, 931.
Yeah. It's the Foddy property, the new building on it, and they're gonna split a lot off the back, which is actually has frontage on Hampshire Lane, which is in Georgetown. The town line splits that lot almost in two.
Is that the town line on this 45?
Yep. Yep, it's the line right here. Sorry.
Okay.
The wires don't become a factor back there?
The wires are in the easement, which is part of the lot. We have 80,000 square foot, which is the requirement for Georgetown. It's almost 2 acres. And 275 feet of frontage, which Georgetown requires 200. Groveland requires 150 feet of frontage and 1 acre. So we had plenty of area beyond what Groveland requires. The perk tests were done in Georgetown, so the septic could be done in Georgetown. The house is probably located in Groveland, in this area right here.
Is that where the circle is? Yeah.
Yep.
So it's gonna go up over here?
It's gonna go, just over the town line, probably in this area right here. So that's septic's going in the front. and-
Is it gonna be half in the line, or is it gonna be all in
Yeah,
Groveland?
how are you gonna do that?
Because you got the
Well-
building circle
In 2 towns?
in 2 towns.
Well, building circles for you to see. that
Yeah.
It will fit on the lot. The town line is not typically a
Well, wait a minute.
for zoning purposes. You know, you have to meet the zoning for the lot. We did it for both lots. It meets the zoning for both towns, including Georgetown. There was a question whether it could only be an acre in Georgetown, but because it's 2 acres, even though the house is gonna be in Groveland, we decided to make it a full 2 acre, or 80,000 square foot lot. So it conforms to Georgetown completely, and the house conforms to Groveland. So, I don't think the town line, it's a municipal boundary, it's not, there's plenty of lots to straddle the municipal boundary. There's no requirement.
Well, wait a minute.
The
How
lot
about,
only be in one lot.
how about a common sense question? So if you smack a house in the Groveland side, then all the zoning requirements should be on the Groveland side for the Groveland part of the house. And I see the area, but you're in 2 different municipalities. So you're gonna need 2 different approvals.
Correct.
But then, so,
Yeah.
you know, just a simple question, how does the tax bill go? Because half the house is in Groveland, half the house is in Georgetown.
Well,
and
the house will be in Groveland.
Right, but the access is coming from Georgetown, so
The
that's
septic's
the other
in
side of it.
Georgetown.
Septic is in Georgetown, so we
Two
got
bills.
50/50.
Like he does now. He gets 2 bills now. This parcel here is in,
Yeah, but what
Georgetown.
house was that? Oh, you mean on the tax bills just for the land?
he
Yeah.
gets taxed bill
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
land in Georgetown, he gets taxed bill for the land in Groveland.
Now, we've had a couple of, in my tenure, almost 30 years, I think we've had one house, and it's on the Boxford side, way down near the lake, that was in 2 different municipalities. And he had to show that the house could be, because if it moves around and everything, had to be made in both, but it was a while ago. So one would think, and I like the circle, but that's not in Groveland, that's in both towns.
But it's on the lot. The lot's
So we would have to,
town.
have you had, Rebecca, any experience with this lately? It's obviously both towns are gonna have to sign off, and there could be a joint letter.
So I know that there is a A&R before the Georgetown Planning Board. But we typically don't look at the house location as part of an A&R, other than the fact that the circle is within the lot lines, and where we don't determine if a lot is buildable.
Well,
I don't know why the tax bill would come into consideration.
yeah, and the tax bill wasn't my concern. The fact is that under our regulations, this circle's gonna be all in Groveland, and it's not. It's
I don't
50.
see, doesn't say it has to be in Groveland, it has to be in the lot.
It has to be on the
be a
lot,
lot,
it doesn't
right.
say,
But the lot isn't, only part of the lot is in Groveland, which is our jurisdiction.
but the house will be in the
Double portion.
circle, will be in Groveland.
But the circle isn't all the way, is there a way to get this all the way in the Groveland piece? And that
No,
would take care
because
of
the
that
septic
question.
system's gonna fall
In the back?
within the radius of the building circle.
Septic system's gonna be in the front.
Right, so Bill, this could conceivably go in all in Groveland, right?
Yeah, I could push it back, but I don't think it matters a whole lot because.
Well, it would. it
Was
would
this
just for the-
Habitat too?
I don't,
I think,
What was that?
the question is this a Habitat?
So
It
it is
might
in,
be in
it
the-
is in wetlands, so there's going to have to be a filing, and whether or not
Claudia's
they have
drawing
to
had
do a
wetlands
local
all back
filing.
there, didn't it?
There is a
Well, Fowler has
giant turtle
wetlands all
crossing
back over
sign
here.
right across the street.
It's a swamp.
Right, but on the other side.
But there's also been migration.
Yeah,
it might
yeah,
be.
they got the sign up. Did you see that?
No, but I know there's migration in there.
Yeah.
That's a-
No, it's right on 97.
But yes, it's
Do
possible.
they have a filing with National Heritage for the gas?
They haven't gone to for
For the gas station, I don't know, do they say that as like segregation as a project or a parcel of land? I don't
Right, it
know.
becomes segmentation when
Yeah.
you start, when you split the lot off.
okay, so we have to go to, well, we have
You
to
have-
go to natural heritage with the
Right,
conservation.
right.
But you'd probably do one DEP filing for both communities, and then you just have to figure out whether or not you trigger the local bylaw with the Conservation Commission in Groveland, because I don't believe Georgetown has a local.
Right, they do have a local bylaw.
they do? Okay.
It's- But, yeah, we have to file with whichever town the work is being done in the buffer zone. If there's no work in the buffer zone, then it wouldn't go to the conservation at all, but it still might be a natural heritage issue, yes.
So, maybe a suggestion to save a lot of time, because you still gotta get all those approvals. How about
But
you
the
get
other
those
thing,
first?
well, the other thing, if it is in the, he's got a lot of hurdles.
Right.
Because if it is in the Heritage, National Heritage District, they're gonna count that as, you had probably a no-take on this, and we just talked about that, and they got away with a no-take on this, and they may say, well, you were not gonna get away with, on this lot. I can't speak for them,
Right.
but I've investigated on something that I'm doing, and it's segmentation when you make another lot off of yours.
I would just caution the board where your jurisdiction lies in the conservation review of a plan as opposed to Form A, approval under the subdivision control law not required. Does it have frontage? Does it have access? Does it meet those triggers before holding for conservation and habitat means? Unless the access is illusionary or whatnot, but I don't see there to be like a review process of where the house. and-
I see the town of Groveland regulations that require, and if you can put it into, if you can put on the Groveland side, everything that's required under an A&R, then that meets the regulation of Groveland. I don't know what Georgetown's gonna require. It is
Let's
a
see what
two-town
Georgetown's gonna say. I mean, it does meet the requirements of frontage.
Yep.
Right? And it meets the requirements of Georgetown's frontage.
Well, did they sign off yet, or did
Maybe
they?
one tomorrow.
Oh, they're going tomorrow.
So-
So if this circle goes into here and the access comes in off here, that's the only two things that I see missing at a quick glance. Get this circle in Groveland and show that driveway access, because I don't see that on here. And that meets our reg for the A&R, but then you gotta, like they said, you gotta jump through all the other hoops with Heritage
You don't
and
need,
whatever.
you don't need the circle and,
You don't, yeah, let's
don't
see what
need the circle.
Georgetown says about
Yeah.
the circle. I would leave the circle
Doesn't
there.
have a circle.
yeah,
They
right.
don't have
But
it, so
So,
where
yeah,
is,
so
where is
fine.
the driveway access?
it's probably gonna be either right here or right here.
Yeah, see, it's not on the plan.
Oh, it's an A&R plan, we don't
Oh.
have to show a lot on the, I mean, a house on the.
A&R
plan,
has
yeah.
to, an A&R for a house has to show driveway access, and it also, and the circle does have to be in Groveland.
No,
I
it
don't
doesn't.
see it has to be
Well,
available.
it just
Has to be
shows it
on the
has to be on the lot. It doesn't show, it doesn't say it in the bylaw that it has to be in
But our,
Groveland.
but, wait a minute, think for a second, gentlemen. Okay, our regulations are only Groveland regulations. We can't tell Georgetown what to do. So our circle goes in our town, not their town. So, but it can fit, as you can see, and Bill can easily make that correction, and that goes out of the way, and then add the driveway, and then it meets the Groveland A&R requirements, only for our town. So that's it, and then Georgetown's got his own set of regs. And then you've got obviously, the other stuff to do with the heritage. And right down here, right about where your stamp is that Turtle Crossing sign that just went up a month ago on 97. So there is migration of the turtles through there. I don't know when and where.
Sometimes the sign is there, sometimes the sign is covered.
Yeah, it was uncovered today.
It's usually covered by a plastic bag, so maybe they're not migrating, you know? But I would,
They're
you
off
know
on the
what,
weekend.
if it, I mean, if he wants to, he can move the circle, but it doesn't really matter, I don't think.
I'll show you why later, but anyway, but yeah, if you can move that, put the driveway access, then this meets the A&R for what is required, and then Sam's takes it from there, National Heritage, and
I think there's just gonna be
Concom.
other hurdles for now.
Yeah. How fast can you do those two things for us?
Probably tomorrow, get it back to you
Okay?
sometime
Yeah,
this
it
week.
meets our regs, I mean, so I don't think there's a big deal, I just think
Yeah, so
it
get the,
triggers some Concom stuff, and I'm not on that board, so.
so just get those two things in and then swing back, and we just set a date for the 20th, and
Okay, sounds good.
And then,
And again, I may be wrong, but I'm just letting you know.
check,
I'm not doing the.
Be aware, it
development, I'm
could
just doing the lot.
trigger,
yeah, yeah.
it could trigger national
Tim
heritage.
Scannon's gonna be doing the rest of the design, so I'll.
It'd be nice if Georgetown could, Rebecca, could you give Georgetown a heads up on, just, hey, let us know if there's anything else? You know, just so we're aware of it. Yeah, and we'll tell them what we're doing. I mean, two town approvals, so we should both know what's going on. But that meets it for us anyway,
Yeah,
as far
it
as,
meets-
far as I see. So,
Those changes.
is that Mike back there? How you doing? Are you another retired guy working nights? I thought that was kind of funny, sorry. Nobody's really retired anymore. Everybody's still working. All right. What else we got?
We can open the public meeting for 929, 931 Salem Street. And I think we're gonna vote on the tank placement and the
Oh, yeah.
tank. What's a big, you know, in the ground, above the ground, with TEC's comments.
Okay. So motion, open a hearing? Yeah.
Make Motion to open.
Okay, the second? Was
I
there a
second.
Oh, you did?
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And you want a motion to accept TEC's final review for the cement tank and comments?
Didn't we did that last meeting?
We did.
Yeah.
We did.
Over it last meeting.
All of the.
We accepted all the comments, we accepted all the,
Yep.
So motion to endorse, is that what that is?
well, it's a motion to endorse, but I just wanna have a couple minutes to go over this with you guys, if that's all right.
Yep.
On the O&M plan, we weren't specifying the frequency of future testing, right? Is that-
No, but
up to the
we're
state,
gonna talk about
right?
testing.
'Cause it's in
Oh, yeah.
here, It just doesn't mention a frequency. but
What item is that?
The
Yeah.
future inspections is for,
Number 4?
yeah.
So,
Do we have the operations and maintenance plan, is that gonna be provided by the engineers we were talking about the last meeting?
It'll be provided, and my recollection is that there's a condition that requires us to provide a copy of that. I did review the decision, Rebecca was kind enough to provide me a copy of it at the end of the week. And so there is a condition, if I recall, I can pull it out, that requires us to submit an O&M plan.
Okay.
Yeah, that was something that TEC had caught and included in its review letter, and the special conditions in the decision are more or less verbatim what was in TEC's letter. So
I think what we're gonna ask for, I saw the TEC comments, they were asking for biannual, is that what it was? If I remember correctly, Rebecca, was that?
I think we did talk about that,
I think,
twice a year, right?
correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
I think during the first 6 months of operation, once this is installed, I think we're gonna look for probably like 4 times
Quarterly.
the quarterly inspection,
For,
to make sure that if
Yeah.
there's not gonna be any leaks, or there's not gonna be any issues, you
And,
know, to have some
dur-
sighting on that
during what period is that?
for the first year.
The first year, okay, that's fine. I mean, I think what we had talked a little bit about at the last meeting in August was that we're going to have to do the preliminary inspections anyway. So, you know, whether the inspections do double duty, there are specific conditions you've got in your decision that we have to test the tanks once they're completed. We have to, so we'll do those initial tests, and then of course during the first year, if you want more frequent tests, quarterly tests, that's fine.
Because I think if something's gonna happen, it's gonna happen within the first
Yeah.
year. If-
Settling of the tank or anything like that.
Well, any
And then piping.
piping that's, you know, compromised, or,
That's
and I'm
fair.
sure he's gonna open it up and do a lot more frequent, you know, looks, but I think we're gonna want an engineer to
Sure,
look at this quarterly.
that's fine.
So it's an add-on for item 4 for quarterly inspections for the first year
Correct.
after completion? And then biennial after that?
Biannual after that, and I think we can leave it at that.
Yeah, because you have a normal inspection anyway, right?
Correct.
Typically,
It's a state marshal fire inspection.
yeah, so
Right,
how often
correct.
does that take place? Refresh my memory on that.
I think the state fire marshal's office that's indefinite.
No, I mean, like, how many
It's
times?
It's once a year.
Once a year.
It's
Okay,
once
so
a
it'll be
year,
an
but
annual
we're
inspection?
pushing it up to twice a year.
Right,
And I shouldn't say once a year for gasoline, it could be more. I know for oil, for us,
yeah.
it's once a year.
It's once a year, usually it's
Yeah.
annually, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's gonna be inspected, that's the big thing. Onto that, and then, okay. And how many years you wanna go in the biennial?
First year.
For just one.
Quarterly.
Well, we're doing quarterly the
Quarterly.
first
So
year.
quarterly first year,
Biennial
biannual after.
Yeah, that's
For-
forever.
Okay, indefinite,
Since
got it.
Yes, since the tank, once the tanks are in.
There you go.
You gotta have it.
All right, so that answers that question, okay.
His engineers were sitting here in the last meeting, you weren't here, and they're going to submit structural plan, submitted by a structural engineer,
Yeah.
so we'll have that.
It's gonna be.
Were we supposed to have that before?
No,
They're
well,
drawing it up.
we
It's
didn't
gonna be
vote
set-
on it yet, so they didn't know what to.
Oh, didn't know
probably
what to- okay.
What to draw, so,
It's gonna be poured in place. It's
Okay.
not gonna be
The cast.
No,
Okay.
poured in place.
Okay. Anything else we want to add on this thing here? Or we gonna-
does that, anybody on the board have anything else to add?
Who's the overseeing inspection authority? Is it gonna be the old
Fire
fire
department.
chief? Who's,
It would
Won't
be
the fire chief because he has,
jurisdiction over the,
it will be or won't be?
it won't be because, Fadi works under his.
Oh, that's right. So, is,
It'll be the
one of your
state fire
consultants was
marshal.
It'll
neat?
be the
Is
state
he-
fire marshal.
It's the state fire marshal.
State fire marshal has to sign.
Right, but who's gonna be doing the quarterly inspections in between?
Private.
Right, so is that gonna, is that neat, or is that,
No, it could be.
I'm asking if they
We
know.
have, it could be Comp Tank, whoever they hire.
So who, yeah, do you know who that is yet?
We don't, and I think that question was asked at the last meeting, and we said we hadn't determined yet, but we did
Yeah,
state that it
there's
would be
plenty of
be a
companies out there,
third-party
Comp
company.
Tank,
Correct.
whatever, they do them. They'll send them off to us or whatever, that's how we work.
Yeah, so whoever that is gonna submit paperwork to the board for the inspection, so we get all that, and all right, so,
I think the board, and then, will a copy of all the, go to Sam as well?
He gets a copy of the decision, yes.
Okay.
no, the inspection report.
The inspection reports,
That's
I
it.
can make sure that he gets a copy if that's what the board would like.
yeah.
Yeah, because they gotta go around, if the fire chief's not involved, then,
The zoning
They
enforcement
gotta go to the
officer
state,
should have,
right,
Yeah,
yeah.
it would be Sam.
Okay, so that answers that. Is that missing in the language here?
Yes.
All right.
Can add that.
Can we add that? Thank you, Rebecca. Who's doing the site inspections? TEC on the pour and,
Structural engineer will probably be on site. There'll probably be concrete testing.
yeah.
You know, there'd
So
be
who's, for our
A
site, who's
7,
doing
a
that?
30. Mike, what's going to be for concrete testing?
We'll use a concrete testing company out of, I forget the name of it, but they're out of Reading.
Yep, I know who they are. I forget the name.
Okay, so for milestones, can we assign TEC for shadow detail to be on site? Because you're gonna have your engineers, but then we're gonna have our engineers that's how we do it on the roads. You go out there, we have one of our guys out there with a tape measure, just making sure the rolls go down.
Well, I don't think TEC will have to be out there during the pour. They're going to have an independent
Review
concrete.
Yeah.
Review the
Yeah,
reports.
and they pretty much do everything. Well, buildings in Boston, I know who they are. I forget the.
Yep.
Yeah, so our engineer is gonna be reviewing what they're submitting so that we can get it through, but.
That'll be probably
TEC.
submitted to Sam. Sam will, because that's on the build, that's on the construction side of it.
Right, and we always had TEC on the construction side on things, if they're gonna be assigned to it, to do the same thing. I mean, they shadow it, they do all the reports, we review it, and then it goes over.
Again, I don't think they need to be there on the concrete testing part of it.
How about
but-
just reviewing the reports as they come in? I don't know if Sam's gonna, that's usually not his bag to reviewing engineering reports, but it is for TEC.
I
Kinda
would,
just the same way we do the reviews of the subdivisions.
is TEC qualified
Qualified for concrete.
for concrete? That would be a question, because it
Yeah.
would be a moot point to be,
True.
so I guess, can we find out if,
I would imagine that they would be,
We
but
have
let's find out.
structural engineering on staff, so I would imagine they'd be able to do that.
okay. Do you have a problem with that? Is that?
I don't think so. So you're suggesting the TEC would review whatever
Review,
submittals we
right,
make?
review whatever the testing agency comes back. They're gonna be several tests. There's gonna be a 1 day, there's gonna be a 7 days, there's gonna be there's gonna be a month, and they go out for whatever the structural engineer will dictate,
Usually
from that
28
mix.
Usually 28 days.
Right.
Okay, that's fine.
So we would need to, have them provide some type of estimate so that we can have money set aside for them to review.
Correct, right. I don't know what's left in the account, but you're right.
And I don't think it's a big deal. They're also gonna take a look at the structural plans provided as
That's
well
right.
by
So,
structural
so
engineer.
they're gonna be in the loop anyway, and they've already been from the start, so it's best to keep them on board.
So if
and
they
then
do have a
just review it.
structural engineer on site, then they will get the reports on the concrete.
And that's fine. We just want to follow the usual process where we get to approve the scope of services in advance and provide, requisite funds. That's fine.
All right, so you need a motion to add that, or you just wanna do a catch-all?
I think we can just do a,
We can do a catch-all, but I'll add
Okay.
it, so we're adding that TEC will review the testing reports and data as submitted to send confirmation to the board.
Yeah, and structural,
so there'll be a structural engineer, they'll be
yeah,
looking at the rebar.
right. And then milestones, if there's any, it's all gonna happen at the same time, I imagine. You guys are gonna be out there nonstop for a while, so typical 10-day notification before you start.
And I think Sam will be on site for the pour, or at least submittal of the
He'll be on site for inspection of the
rebar,
rebar. He'll be in for the hole before you even pour the concrete, all that stuff. So
yeah, so it's typical.
Yeah.
typical.
No, this looks okay.
On that.
John, do you have anything to add?
No, nothing beyond that.
Site work. Are we sticking with the 10 days for milestones on this one notification? Just in case so we don't miss anything? Minimum 10 days?
As far as,
just when they're gonna be doing things, just so everybody gets, hey, in 10 days, we're gonna be doing this. That's
Well, I
in the-
think that pour is gonna happen,
It's gonna be happen quick.
it's gonna happen quick, it's just gonna be bang, bang, bang.
Right, that's what I mean. We're
There's gonna
gonna,
be rebar, there's gonna be concrete truss, there's gonna be
we're starting
testing
the
there,
following
and-
stuff, starting bang, and off you go.
I mean, you could make the,
Yeah, they-
yeah, he could,
Yeah,
We have to do soils test, 8 feet below the bottom, and we're 12 feet around, so we're almost 20 feet, so we have to know the trailer before we design the structure.
Yeah, no, it's just a simple letter to the board that says, hey, in 10 days, minimum 10 days, hey, if you know a date before that, that's fine.
Soils test, but we're going to go down and do have a geological soils test done 10 feet below the bottom of the wall. Okay, because we have to know it's support all the way.
Yeah. Yeah, this is just for the construction milestones and stuff like that. Yeah. I imagine you guys are gonna kick this off fairly quickly, right? This is gonna kick fairly quick, right? You gotta start month in mind?
It's probably 2 months before we get the design.
Yeah, so you're gonna be into the winter. Yeah, so that's why in case you get a delay or something like that, so that's standard stuff, just send a letter to the board if you,
you're not
10
gonna
days.
plan on doing a winter pour, right?
No. Winter conditions?
okay. So that answers that, so. Okay,
Do you want me to read this thing?
So then, to summarize, we have increase inspections to quarterly for the first year, then move to biannual inspections indefinitely. Add condition relative to sharing reports with the building commissioner, TEC to provide testing reports as submitted, and to review structural design and witness the pour with a 10-day notification, and I will be getting a quote from TEC to provide to the applicant prior to.
Okay,
sounds like the add-ons, yeah.
anything to add, Bob?
No, I think they covered it.
How are we gonna?
All right, we're gonna vote on motion to adopt the notice of decision of the Aquifer Protection Overlay District Special Permit for 929/931 Salem Street,
As amended.
With the
as amended.
Yeah,
Yep.
so motion, or seconded?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I cannot vote on this one, right?
You can vote.
Okay,
That's it.
You should close the hearing too.
Oh, motion to close the public hearing.
so motion,
All in favor? Oh, do
Aye.
I need a second?
second it.
All in favor?
aye,
Aye.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
thank you very much. Okay, what else we got?
Not, you have
We're all
nothing.
done, right?
All right,
That's it, motion adjourned?
motion to adjourn.
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you for watching.